You should subscribe to the Monaresclub. Because the Prince of All Saiyans told you to, idiot. Bye.
Hey everyone, Elizabeth here. I'm bringing you my top 5-ish favorite cards from 2020. So let's just get into it. So my number 5, I guess, from the pick is the Son Goku and Hit Supreme Alliance. I haven't played it for a while. It's in my veggie deck, my cauliflower, kale, kaba veggies, I guess what it's called, which hasn't been as relevant in the meta lately, but it's still super good. And this card is played in multiple other decks. Just the fact that you can play it out for 1 blue, and then it gets to either swing, it can swing twice and then still be picked up for a blocker on your opponent's turn. Is just ridiculous. So pretty much all blue-yellow decks I feel like should be playing this card. Not only is it massive swings, but it's some massive blocks, which is really great. Or if you leave it up on your opponent's turn, it can block twice if they don't kill it. So number 2 coming in is good old Agents of Destruction Strike Back. I was trying to pick a card that really summed up AOD, which is hard because there's every card in the deck is AOD, right? And while the leader is good, I feel like he wasn't really the exact flavor. I feel like the flavor of AOD is give me all those cards, right? Like, give me as many cards as I can get. You say no, you give me cards. So this card, not only can it draw you 2 from, so you look at the top 2 from the top of your deck, and you can take them both if they're AOD, which if you're playing an AOD deck, probably, 80% of your deck is AOD. And then you can also pick up a card from your life. So not only does it draw you 2, but it can draw you 1 from your life and be some self-awakening, because the backside of AOD leader is super good. So great card right here. Really sums up the AOD deck. And I feel like there's also a little bit of a throwback to some Star Wars here. I don't know if that was intentional, but just I always think of Star Wars when I think of Strikes Back. So, here we are. So this third pick I picked was this Ginyu Forest, the Showstoppers. I feel like Ginyu was fun and lulzy, but he wasn't really something I could bring to the table and expect to win with very often. And then they released Showstoppers. And this card just makes the deck work so much better. It makes it so fluid. The fact that it can be any of the Ginyu Force here, and to help you awaken, and the fact that if you get damage on their leader or unison, not even just their leader, or includes their unison, right? Yeah, so stupid. That can sometimes just be free if you're swinging at their unison, because they can't defend that in the same way. So then you get another Ginyu Force, and it doesn't even come in rest mode. So if you get a Showstoppers out, you swing, you get some damage on the board, then you can bring Raccoon out, and Raccoon can bring something from your hand, and it's too good. So I really had to have this on my list because it really made Ginyu a viable deck, and I love Ginyu, I love the Ginyu Force. They're so stupid and silly that they just have a special place in my heart. So if you haven't picked up Ginyu and you haven't tried the Showstoppers, I highly recommend it. So the next best here is this Go Tanks Grim Reaper of Justice. One of my other decks is the Go Tanks deck. I know a lot of people hate it because it's stupid, and this card is kind of the height of the deck and of the stupidity. So you essentially get to play it for 2. You throw your Goten and Trunks in the bin. Often you're throwing cards in the bin from your hand that you can either buy back for 1, or there's a Trunks card in there that you get to dig 7 for a unison. Lots of great things. You don't really care about throwing those cards away. And then this card gets to draw 2. And if your Vegito Unison's in play, it gets to draw another one. So often it's drawing 3 cards. And then if you KO it, your opponent KOs it or whatever, if it leaves the battle area, you get your pieces back, your Trunks and your Goten, so that you can play another one, because stupid. Oh yeah, and it just has deflect and dual attack. So, really makes the Gotenk, this is the Gotenks deck, really, is this card. This is what makes it so great. The leader is whatever. So, I know a lot of you guys might hate this, but obviously I really like it. But I did, however, pick my number one for a reason. My number one card here, which we will see, is Android 18 Bionic Blitz. So why I picked this as my number one out of all of them is because it can just go in so many decks. A lot of my other cards as cards as we've seen, like Gotenks, Ginyu, AOD, and even the Son Goku and Hit. This one is a little more splashable, but all these other boys really have their archetype and their deck, which are the decks that I love. But Android 18 can go in anything, really, anything blue or green. And as you may have noticed, I really like some green. So I have, some decks that have blue, like AOD has some blue, like this card can go in so many things. So, and you put a card on the bottom. I don't know. I've really learned to love the discard mechanic ever since I picked up Slug back in the day. Old Slug, obviously. So I really just appreciate it. It helps make decks like the Frieza deck, the discard Frieza starter leader go really well. It helps make Ginyu go really well. Helps make Gotenks go pretty well. If you want that in there, it really just can be splashable in any deck that has even the leader is just a little bit blue or green. Super combo that says F you to your opponent. So those are my top 5, and lastly, I do have my last, I know it's only a top 5, but I have my honorable mention here. That wasn't in the top 5, but it probably would have been 6 or 7, but also it's not just one card, it's this combo that is, it's a little cut off there, the Jiren, Legend of Universe 11 with the Peel Off My Shoe Dragon Ball Chaser cards. The real reason that this combo comes into play, and you need the peel off leader to really make it work, is you play these boys, which each of these cards after turn 2, so turn 3 or further, you can bring all the rest of them out. You get Jiren in play. So usually you'll play Jiren, you can awaken your leader, depending on the turn, you get these boys out. Or vice versa, you get the boys out, then you can awaken your leader, get Jiren out. And then after you've swung with all these boys, your leader will let Jiren get triple attack, I believe. And then he has double strike as well. So, it's kind of just a big kill turn for the Peel Off deck. And, it really made me love Peel Off. We don't play this combo anymore. We kicked out Jiren to try a few other unisons, the newer unison, I can't think of what its name is right now, but the big draggy boy. So, those were my top 5 and another few, that I really these are some great cards, and I highly recommend you picking them up and try them if you haven't. I know a lot of them are a little more spendy, so, do what you can. But I hope you like those cards too. Leave me some comments. Don't forget to like our channel. Subscribe if you haven't. And see some more content from us coming up. So I hope everyone had a great time. And I will catch you next time. Bye, everyone.